Okay.
I did that this morning. So this morning I cut the grass and weed whacked and just generally tidied up while my dad and stepmom were at work. And I was like, you know what? Just while it's early and before I go to my mom's, I'm gonna do bird patrol because I've been meaning to do it. Dude, there's like 6 nests around the house. I knocked all of them down. One of them had eggs in it, and I felt kind of bad.
Damn.
They will repopulate faster than you can say oops.
Like, dude, and it was up here, right in front of my door. There's
Right.
like a thing off to the left on one of the pillars, and they nested up in it. So I couldn't see that there were eggs in it, but I knocked it down, and it fell all the way down to the first story on the concrete. And I looked down, and it was just like yellow, red mess under the nest.
Oh. Ew.
Yeah, I hosed it off.
Welcome to the GTM podcast where we occasionally talk about the
no,
things we want to
did-
talk about.
Did they hear all of that?
Yeah, they did.
No, cut that out.
No, it's fine. You killed birds.
Oh.
So, like, people go duck hunting for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to do it.
You didn't mean to go on bird patrol. I didn't mean to commit mass genocide, I swear.
I mean, I didn't.
Jesus.
If there was gonna be like eggs in it, I would have relocated it. I wouldn't have just knocked it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the other ones I could kind of see in. That one, I was like, all the other ones are empty, and I fucking poked it.
I am Gage, the bird destroyer.
To be fair, though, they are super, super annoying, and they shit on my front porch, and like they were directly next to my light, so it's like I would step out whenever, and I would scare them, and they would fly off and like shit on me. So it's like,
Uh-oh.
you know what? You're fair trade.
So, since our last episode, which we've now moved on to our new schedule since me and Matt and some of the other guys are back at work now. It's going to be a little bit difficult to record on Tuesdays, so we're recording on Fridays and uploading on Saturdays to make the schedule a little bit easier to manage.
Okay, so that's the new schedule.
Yeah, record Fridays, upload Saturdays.
Okay, because that works out, because I would be working from 9 p.m. to like 7 a.m. Sunday night through Wednesday night. So that will work out.
Until next summer when we get to the back to basics, record Tuesdays, upload Wednesdays.
Yeah, but that excludes me, like every time.
So Gage will not be on the podcast for a whole summer next summer. But there will also not be any podcasts towards the end of May.
Why?
Because I'm going on an Alaskan cruise.
I'll do it.
You don't have what it takes.
No, dude, I can totally get on an Alaskan cruise.
Oh, I thought you meant like I could host the podcast. I was like, you don't got what it takes.
No, dude, I could totally sit on an Alaskan cruise.
Oh my god. I could bring my laptop and my microphone with me and record the podcast on the cruise.
You should totally do it.
That would be fucking baller.
If you have your own private room, you might as well.
Well, I won't have a private room. I'll have a I'm probably going to be sharing a room with my my parents and my brother.
Dang.
But that's cheaper, so I don't fucking mind.
True.
I mean, it went from me having to save like $100 every paycheck to now having to save $64 every paycheck.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's roughly like $1,000 or so. But if I can share a room with somebody, I'm gonna do that over anything else.
Right.
I mean, fuck, I'll sleep on the floor of a cabin if I can go and visit Alaska.
You said you're going in May?
Yeah, we're going like at the end of May, May 27th.
I take it you don't need a passport.
No, we don't need a passport to go to Alaska because we're not going into Canadian waters.
Nice. That's awesome.
So what are you leaving from like Portland, like Oregon?
We're leaving from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, I think my mom did the same cruise, and they did actually stop in Canada where tobacco costs $20 a can.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean, I really want to like. It's cool that we're going to Seattle. Like, I'm hoping that we like get to stay in Seattle for a few hours because I kind of want to see Seattle.
oh, why? It's like on fire all the time.
And
Space Needle.
yeah, the Space Needle, the fucking.
My coworker just got back from Seattle. His mom works for Oracle.
Okay, I don't want to sound like an idiot, so let me see. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the Space Needle. That's really it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I didn't continue with what I said because I'd look like a real fucking idiot.
That's exactly the Space Needle.
What did you think was in Seattle?
The Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, I was like,
Statue of Liberty.
Dude, there's like honestly, there's like 3 or 4 Statue of Liberties, I think. There's one in Las Vegas. There's one in New York. There's one in London, I think, and then one in Paris. Keep in mind,
places I have no business ever going.
You wouldn't go to the UK?
No.
Just
I love it there. It's overcast.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's overcast, and I would like to go to Ireland and Scotland. But as far as like England, not particularly.
But Lego World.
Lego World?
Yes.
Okay, I might go to England.
Lego World's in the UK.
They have Bionicle.
They got family
Land.
there.
They have Bionicle Land in Paris.
Okay,
oh my God.
Okay, I'm not going to Paris. I'm not going to France.
I may love Bionicle, but I'm not going to Paris for it.
The only thing France ever got right was cheese, wine, and dessert.
Croissants.
And midday breaks.
And what?
Midday breaks.
And making it cool to smoke.
Right. The fanciest, longest pipes.
Some of the things they didn't get right was like
everything else.
Yeah. There was a movie I watched called Vacation. Not the one where like they go to that amusement park, but the one where they go to like
they did European Vacation.
Yeah, European Vacation. And like Chevy Chase like goes into like the wrong room and he's like, "Honey, did you shave your legs? It's kind of hairy down there." Realize he's in the wrong room. It was a woman. It wasn't a guy. So that's something I've rewatched now. As I'm rewatching Community. Fucking love that show.
Right now, I am in the middle of Futurama.
Oh man,
I should hop back into that.
I absolutely love Futurama.
I will rewatch it with any of you guys.
Oh my God.
When you stop by tomorrow, it'll probably be on.
It'd be great.
Has anybody here ever watched Community?
Nope.
No?
I think I started to.
Oh my God, it gets so fucking good.
Nope. Yanni, was it you who told me that Starlink is supposed to be out this way in like the middle of August?
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise.
According to Elon, anyways.
USA.
According to Elon. So
I'm here.
Get me wrong, Elon.
So
it is.
What do we have on the list for today? I'm I was invited to play
No,
the
it
Halo
is if you
Infinite
don't.
flight.
It is if you do pay for it.
Brian, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Brian. So I was invited to play the Halo Infinite flight. Very rocky
Yeah,
start because they did not give me the code. So I had to submit a ticket to the support thing to get my code, and they're still working on it.
Wow. You just
Yep.
got juked.
I'm going to be very unhappy if they're like, yeah, we're inviting you to play the Halo Infinite flight test this weekend.
Oh, did that say
Holy shit.
2021? Whoops.
Fucking
That's next year.
no, I mean like the game releases this year, like Christmas.
Okay, but what they don't know is that they're actually pushing it back, and that your turn for the beta is next year.
What really infuriates me though is like I got invited to both the PC flight test and the console flight test.
Okay.
So I can go like buy an Xbox right now and play the Halo Infinite flight test if I absolutely wanted an Xbox for 3 days, but I don't really want to buy an Xbox.
Yes, the Xbox that you can't find.
Well, no, not an Xbox One X, an Xbox One. Just like a regular Xbox.
Can you even buy it?
Yeah.
No.
Nobody's out there like hunting down Xbox Ones. They're hunting down Xbox.
I don't even know if they're like focused on making them right now. I think they're just focused on making the newer consoles.
But you could go to like a GameStop right now and buy a used one.
Oh yeah.
Which is literally what I did for my PlayStation. Was like, I had a real big point where I was like, I want to play the new Spider-Man, but I don't have a PlayStation. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to go to fucking GameStop after work. I'm going to buy a PlayStation and Spider-Man so I can play it when I get home. I played it. I beat Spider-Man. Had a great time. A few months later, I gave my PlayStation back to GameStop and got money for it. And I was like, all right, I enjoyed the game. Fantastic. And then a few more months later, I was like, I really want to play Spider-Man again. So I went back to GameStop, bought another PlayStation, bought Spider-Man again, and now I still have it, and I'm not giving it up.
Yeah, it's good to hold on to consoles.
I wish I never sold my Xbox One because I had the original fat Xbox One.
Right.
That came with the Kinect that I still have.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
That thing was it worked some of the times. I remember like the only times it ever really work is like if I'm downstairs and it's like my dad's like, "Hey Nick, we're going out to go see your grandmother. Let's go." And I'd be like, "Fuck, I forgot to turn my Xbox off." And I'd like yell upstairs, "Xbox, turn off!" And then you just hear like a very faint "be-doo-doo." Like that's.
Hey, I think the 360 did that.
Yeah, that was like when they introduced Kinect. When the Xbox One came out, they were like, it has to have Kinect with it. You can't buy a version without it. And then later on down the road, they were like, all right, we're going to stop supplying the Kinect because nobody wants it.
Yeah, dude. Nobody wanted it. It was so bad.
You could
the one
honestly...
I had really cool games with it. I thought it was okay.
See, but if you wanted like voice commands for your console, why not just implement a microphone into the controller?
I have no idea.
See, I mean, like everybody's trying to like one up each other's controller with every new console iteration. Me personally, with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, I thought that was like really the peak of consoles for at least, the next 5 or 10 years. Not like a year or so before they announced PS5 and Xbox Series X. I was like, I think that they're just fine where they are right now. I really don't think they need to upgrade the console at the moment. I feel like they should wait until things get a little bit more amped up. And then they unleashed the PS5 and Xbox Series X, which really didn't look any different in my opinion. And the controllers had... The PS5's controller had haptic feedback, and that was like the big fucking thing.
Yeah, the capacitive triggers are actually impressive.
And the Xbox Series X controller doesn't have anything important on it whatsoever. It's just an Xbox One controller with an extra button.
Yeah.
If you wanted to one-up PlayStation, you could release your Pro controller as the standard console controller. You know, that would be fucking
Right.
awesome. But they didn't, so I don't see how they're going to like one up, the consoles this time. I mean, gaming I think has hit a plateau with graphics and everything. It's hit kind of like a steady plateau where like people can upgrade like the scaling, like, oh, we're optimizing this for 8K. We're gonna have 8K graphics. I mean, that's pretty much the height that they can get to at the moment. There's nothing they can go to beyond that will actually run steady.
Right.
So when they release the next console, there better be something fucking fantastic. Because it doesn't seem like PS5 and Series X were really all that worth it, other than their fucking exclusives. Which Xbox blew it out of the water, and PlayStation, this is just an opinion, PlayStation lost this E3. I don't care what happened at Sony's Expo, they lost because Xbox came out the gate and was like, hey, here's the games that we're working on. By the way, 23 out of the 25 are available day one on Game Pass for Xbox One and PC. So you can spend $10 a month and you get access day one to new releases throughout the year. That was a perfect way to unveil it. Not only that, but you get access to Halo Infinite day one with an Xbox, not an Xbox, but an Xbox Game Pass subscription day one. So I feel like they knocked it out of the park. Sony needs to step up their game because they're like, yeah, we're looking into the possibility of moving more titles from that were PlayStation exclusives to the PC. And they moved one game, and I feel like it's going to take a long time before we get any other PlayStation exclusives added to the PC's library that is ever expanding.
Right.
I don't like there are reasons to why I think consoles are nice for people, and there's reasons why I think that people are stupid for buying them. It's a good idea if you don't want to have a computer that can malfunction sometimes and will have problems, and you'll have to replace parts sometimes if you want to build it yourself, or if it's just a PC you buy off a shelf. There's going to be problems sometimes. You just got to know how to fix it. So I get the idea of I just want to have a console where I come home, turn it on, and it just works. I get that appeal. However, on the other hand, if you look at the library for PC, there's new games coming out every fucking day or every fucking week. Whereas for consoles, the newest games that are coming out are typically like arcade shooters. There's nothing fantastic that's coming out. There's no indie developers who are like, we're making this for exclusively for Xbox and it's in early access or whatever.
Right.
It doesn't feel like the libraries are too defined for console. But then again, it seems like the majority, not all, but the majority of people who buy consoles are people who play sports games or play Call of Duty, Warzone, or whatever. So,
or just kids. I feel like the younger crowd in general.
Yeah. So I get the appeal, but at the same time, once you reach the age of 15, I think it's time to start thinking you want a PC over a console.
You can have whatever you want.
Why? Yeah, I feel like if you like video games and your eyes are open to a wider variety of video games other than just Call of Duty and NBA 2K, start to think about increasing your horizons with PC gaming. At least that's just my opinion.
With PC is that people start meddling in things that so computers are complicated. That's the problem with PC gaming. And me working in an industry where I fix computers, I can tell you there's an unbelievable amount of gaming PCs that we get because of software issues and memory leaks and things failing and just really obvious things. Yep. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with Windows. We all spoke about this before. Googling is a skill. Therefore, a lot of people lack the skill to Google.
This is just a personal thing, but I feel like when you buy a gaming computer or buy a computer in general, it's like buying a car. You're going to want to know how to fix it yourself instead of taking it to the mechanic.
Well, you should know just general maintenance. Right. I wouldn't say you should know how to fix it, but everyone should at least know how to look at the manual and know when to take your car in for things.
Well, right, but I mean, like, I'm talking like, oh, it's getting really hot. Looks like it's kind of dusty in there.
Yeah, no, they don't
That's
think about it.
basic. Yeah, but that should be like a basic thing.
I mean, a lot of people don't check their oil. A lot of people don't check their tire pressure. How often do you check your fluids in your car?
Never.
See?
Yes.
Blood fluids.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Wait, there's fluids?
I check my fluids often. Personally, I do my fluids, I do my tires, and I keep up to date with like the manual maintenance. I track all that.
Right.
Same thing with us and our computers. A general look over. Okay, our storage is getting kind of full. What can we take off and shift around a bit? To casually check updates, see. We see a notification, actually pay attention to it. Don't just ignore it. These people, they just don't. No, they're usually a lot of people that get computers are pressured into getting gaming PCs because some of their friends have it, and they want to move over to the platform. And thankfully, good majority of them have friends that are willing to help them with issues.
Yep.
But a huge handful do not, and so they're left kicking and screaming and going to whatever computer repair shops to get it fixed, because they have no idea what's going on when it's just, oh, did you shut your computer down because you have an uptime of 65 days?
See, like, this is kind of off topic, but not entirely off topic. But like, me and my brother were talking about electronic banking and stuff. And he said, I don't want my stuff on the internet like that. Shit, it's just gonna get hacked. And I'm like, what? I'm not gonna say he's 100% wrong, because it can happen, but
It already did happen.
it's
Since the internet has been a thing, it's just been one thing after the other. You know how many banks have like whoopsie daisy accidentally leaked like millions of users like informations?
Mm-hmm.
It happens every few years where some bank or some organization, some company will accidentally leak millions of customers' informations. It
Which is
happens all
why
the time.
you can get fraud protection for free at any point in time, because there have been banks that have accidentally lost social security numbers.
Millions of them.
Yeah,
fraud protection.
fraud protection. So they monitor your status and your credit and everything else to make sure no one's using your social anywhere else.
Where would one go to apply for said things?
It's a pain in the ass, and it does put you on a fraud list, which makes you vulnerable, but you can do
It
that.
puts me on a fraud list for wanting somebody to check my accounts and everything to make sure I'm not being fucked over.
Yeah, you get registered onto it, and you go through like an absolute ringer of questions to make sure it's you. And then that's it. You're pretty much set up. I don't bother with it because I don't put data in certain places.
Yeah, like the only place, I'm not going to list specific places, but I've only put my payment information into things where it's like I can enter it once and it doesn't save it.
And, I'm not saying it's impossible to get compromised. If there's a compromise, you'll find out.
Right.
And you'll
Yeah.
just deal with it.
Because
Not-
I've had it done to me once where it was I checked my statement because like I went to go get gas or something. It was like insufficient funds. I was like, well, that's a crock of shit. So I checked the app, and it was like somebody dropped $5 on like a soda or something in Maryland, and then they went and bought like a mattress. They bought like a $900 mattress with my money. So I called my bank and I was like, yo, this wasn't me. And they're like, oh, okay. And it was like a few days. I like answer some questions and fill some shit out. But after that, because they did it on my card, my credit card, and they just gave me like credit back on it. It was so simple, but I feel like it was only simple because I feel like I bank with a very good bank.
Well, me and Yanni, we had that conversation yesterday where we were talking about the FDIC.
Yep.
Where, somebody steals money out of your account or gets your credit card information or whatever, and they know it's not fucking you, they obviously aren't going to fucking make you pay it back because you're not the one who made the transaction.
So the FDIC is in place for the bank has problems.
Yeah, that's why you see like refundable up to $250,000. That's why you see it like all the bank windows.
When you, like when in my case when I got skimmed, that's just my bank being nice. Because banks definitely don't have to do that. But it's a nice thing that I think every bank does. But that doesn't fall within FDIC guidelines.
Right.
Because that's there to prevent what happened. I don't know. I don't know history, but whenever the fuck there was a huge crash and the banks were literally running out of money.
Yeah.
And so everyone was literally pulling all their fucking cash out of the bank accounts. So shit like that doesn't happen, and you fucking destroy banks. People are like, well, because most people in America, unfortunately, do not have $250,000 in their bank. Or at least they know they're insured for all of their money in the bank.
What? You don't have 250 grand in the bank right now?
Nope.
I keep all mine in my mattress, like Mr. Krabs. All gold bars and stacks of 50s.
Yeah, I just roll them up and shove them in my car tire.
Yeah.
Shoves it up your ass.
What the fuck?
That's weird. Your tire's full, but it's showing 0 PSI.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Get away. Get away.
Hold on 1 second.
What are you pausing it?
Yep, I can't wait to restart and go to the beta channel because this is ridiculous every fucking time with Streamlabs OBS and Windows 11. And we're back. Okay.
We are back.
So, FDIC stuff. So, ever since, you know...
definitely gaming technology and more.
Yes.
And the FDIC.
Yes.
and the stock market crash of 1929.
Yep.
Spencer was telling me, he's like, I think everybody would benefit from living in the 1950s. I'm like, no. No, we wouldn't.
In the 1950s, I was allowed to beat my girlfriend with a fucking mop handle if she didn't scramble my eggs.
That sounds good to me.
Oh, I was like, he's like, I think everybody would benefit. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. He goes, why wouldn't you? I'm like, no internet. He goes, you just have to wait like 10 or 15 years for me. I'm like, no. What are you talking about? 10 or 15 years in the 50s?
You have to wait like 40 years to get shitty internet.
It didn't even happen until like the early to late 90s.
I would have liked growing up in like 70s, 80s.
I wouldn't. I think I would shine.
I would. I think I would.
You say that now because you have everything that's here, but
no, I know where I would
knowing
thrive.
it. Without having that to begin with, I feel like it was a much simpler time.
No,
everything
I think
was way more manageable back then.
I know where I would thrive.
Yeah, I wish I had lived and died already.
I would excel in like the olden days of knights and shit because being fat meant that you were royalty.
Yeah, basically meant that life was good and you always had bitches aplenty.
Yes, so I would thrive back in like I don't know what age, but knights and shit. Whatever age that is. The Dark Ages or whatever the fuck. Anybody watch anything recently?
I watched Nobody.
Yes, very good movie.
Yeah, I told you about it earlier, but holy fuck, I loved it. It was produced by the same people who did John Wick, which I was very excited to find out when the movie started. And so after finishing watching it, I was like, I think it actually holds up to John Wick in some ways. I think it's actually better. Like the story was better. I don't think the soundtrack was better. The soundtrack in John Wick is better.
Yeah.
But as far as like stylized, I actually liked Nobody a little bit more.
Here's a question for you.
What?
What did you think of Doc Brown being his grandfather? Or his dad?
Of what?
What did you think of Doc Brown being his dad?
Oh, of Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking awesome. Like they
I-
roll up into the spoilers. They roll up into the fucking nursing home to take him out, and he ices both of them. And I love that they do guns really well in both John Wick and this movie. They do guns really well. He just reaches forward and like holds the hammer back to where the hammer won't fall, and he ices both of them with a fucking sawed off. And the dude runs upstairs because the dude was watching TV. The dude runs upstairs. He's like, "Come on, man, turn the TV down." And there's a dude like in his lap, like slowly bleeding out, and he has his
Yeah.
hand over his mouth. That movie was awesome.
Fucking loved it. It had a. I don't want to say it had a simpler concept than John Wick because John Wick had.
I feel like John Wick is a simpler concept than that.
Yes. Like the story in John Wick is definitely something that can't be told in one movie because there's so like you don't learn a whole lot about what his job is in the first movie.
Well-
You just know that he was like a hired gun, but you find out in like the second and third movies that like it's this huge fucking organization that apparently everybody in the world is a part of.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think it's kind of goofy. The secret organization, like I still love the movies, but I think the whole secret organization, to the length of it feels like everyone in the world is in on it except for me.
Yeah.
So it's like it feels kind of fucking goofy, like that.
It was kind of like a Matrix kind of thing.
I don't know, but in this and Nobody, it was like so. It was like a proper like movie. I didn't feel like I was watching 20-minute long fight scenes.
Right.
Like it was a very well, like all the fight scenes in it were really well done, but they're not so drawn out. Because
And
I
it's
remember
not
at the end of John Wick
that-
3, you remember the sword fight in the glass rooms?
Yeah.
Dude, it was like 20 fucking minutes. In the theater, I love the whole movie. In the theater, I was sitting there and I was like, man, I gotta pee. Like, fuck. The sword fight's been going on forever.
I still think one of the coolest kills in the third movie was like that fight in like the weapons shop where like they're using like throwing knives and shit and stabbing people, and then like at the end when he's so tired, he just picks an axe up off the ground and just hucks it into the dude's head.
Oh my god, I was sitting there next to Connor. Me and Connor, did you go, Nick and Yanni?
We went and saw the second one in theaters.
Okay, we went to go see the third one, and I think Yanni might have been there for that one.
Which one's that?
John Wick 3.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, in theaters when it
Yep.
came out. And oh my god, you remember like when that dude was on the ground and John Wick is standing above him with like a handful of knives, and he's just spiking knives into him at like point blank range,
Yep.
one after the other. Everybody in the theater was like, "Oh, oh, oh, ah!" Cheering.
When that fucking huge Russian dude fucking shows up, like the
Oh,
8 foot tall Russian dude.
Yeah, fucking Lurch shows up and the library, and John Wick kills him with a book.
Fucking love it. And like the thing is, you watch these movies where Keanu Reeves is just being like this total fucking badass with zero remorse. And then you see him in real life and he's like the most lovable fucking guy in the world who's just so fucking kind-hearted.
Yeah, and then you look back and you remember that Bill and Ted 3 came out this year.
Yeah.
Which we need to watch.
I have Hulu and I could stream it.
And then what was that other random movie that he was in as like almost like a cameo where it's like there's a meme about it where he's sitting at a fucking table with headphones on drinking wine and Crazy Rich Asians?
No, it's
What was it?
Okay, I'm gonna find it real quick because it was.
But yeah, he was like a I don't know. He was a giant pussy, you know.
Keanu Reeves. Okay.
In the
let's just
meantime,
let's just pull up his fucking IMDb.
Always be my maybe.
That's the movie.
Always be my maybe. It took me 5 fucking seconds to Google it, Nick.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? I just
Yeah.
pulled up I just pulled up fucking Keanu Reeves' IMDb page. This motherfucker was like in so many movies within the past like 3 years. In 2020, he was, of course, in Cyberpunk. He was in Bill and Ted. He was in the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. And then he was in. He was also in the movie Between Two Ferns. He was also in Toy Story 4. He played Duke Kaboom. He was also in also Always Be My Maybe, and then John Wick Chapter 3. But his upcoming movies: Matrix 4, DC League of Super Pets, John Wick Chapter 4, John Wick Chapter 5, Rain, a TV miniseries where he plays a guy named John Rain, and then a movie called Past Midnight, which is announced / rumored.
Rain, John Rain.
He plays a lot of characters with the name John.
What was in the Matrix? It was Mr. Anderson. What was his first name? Was it John Anderson?
No. In Matrix, he played Neo.
Yeah, I know he's Neo, but in the Matrix, when he was just like an NPC, I guess, like in the Matrix, he was Mr. Anderson, and he worked for some fucking company.
Oh, fucking. Let me see.
Yeah, what was his first name?
The Matrix.
Mr. Anderson.
Agent Smith.
No, that's
the guy. Fuck!
agent.
I just thought about it. Mr. Anderson. He's just listed as Neo. Why Mr. Anderson? Why Neo? I just have never. Okay, he's literally just named here as Neo. He has no other name other than Neo and Mr. Anderson.
maybe it's Neo Anderson.
Thomas Anderson. Jesus, It took 5 seconds to Google again.
But
God.
yes, The Matrix.
Didn't he die at the end of the third one?
I think so. I don't know most of these characters. Like I know 2 of them, but that's it.
Yeah, he dies in the end of the third one. How are they gonna make a 4th one?
They're gonna call it Matrix 4 Revive. The Matrix 4 pills here. So, anything else anybody would like to add?
I'm looking at all the fighting styles of Nito. Budo, Krav Maga, Wushu, Eskrima, Taekwondo, Drunken Boxing, Jeet Kundo, Kenpo, and Jiu-Jitsu.
Does he know Kung Fu?
Kung Fu is not on there.
But he says it in the movie.
I know Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
the Kung Flu.
He only knew by downloading it.
What?
He only knew by downloading it.
Yeah, but still, he had to go through like a training thing.
So,
okay.
How about Disney?
What's up with Disney?
Scarlett Johansson.
What about her?
Yeah, see that?
Oh yeah, was she mad about not getting paid as much as like?
Yeah, she's upset that she's not making more.
She's suing Disney.
Yeah, she's suing Disney because there was apparently a breach of contract where her series or whatever movie was supposed to show in theaters only and not on Disney's whatever platform.
Oh, and they like released it.
And it's on, by the way, this is on Disney's like premium fucking platform. So like you don't even just get this with normal Disney Plus. It's like Disney Plus $30.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, to watch whatever the fuck the show is with Scarlett Johansson, and she's mad that she only made $15 million day one. And so she's suing because it was apparently a breach of contract to where it was supposed to be in like theaters exclusively. So I just learned today that Scarlett Johansson's a greedy bitch. That's what I learned today. But I am happy that she is suing Disney because fuck Disney.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. It's hard, you know, because Scarlett Johansson seems like a very decent person. From everything I've ever read about her, everything I've ever seen her in, every interview that she's ever done, she seems like a very genuine person. You know. So it's.
But now she's just greedy.
I don't know. I mean, at $15 million is fucking $15 million, but I'm wondering.
In
like
5 minutes, she made more than 98% of the planet.
Yes.
Will make.
Was there? Did they ever like talk about what the contract amount was?
Well, no, there were like just projected amounts, and those projected amounts have been in the fucking shitter because nobody's going out to theaters.
Right.
So apparently, you would think if it was a breach of contract, there wouldn't have to be a lawsuit. So clearly, there's somewhere in there that's obviously not a breach of contract.
So apparently,
it seems like someone didn't read the fine print.
I don't think anybody could beat Disney. I don't think the Supreme Court could beat Disney.
But yeah, but you're sitting there and now you're going to complain that I didn't make more than $15 million day one.
Well,
this is day fucking one, by the way. She got pissed off like the minute she started making money, she was pissed off.
I mean, from what I can tell, it's just Disney that she's mad at. I mean, yeah. I just saw an article where it's like Kevin Feige is angry and embarrassed about the whole Disney thing. He's embarrassed and angry at Disney for the way they handled it.
Could you imagine explaining this situation to somebody from like 1960?
No, imagine explaining this to like somebody in fucking North Korea.
Well, the thing is, it is still on both platforms. It's available in both places, so people have an option to watch it from home or to go in the theaters. Because if you're just gonna stick it in the fucking theaters, there are people that can't go out to the theaters. They don't want to go out to the theaters. That's perfectly understandable.
Me personally, I just don't like going to theaters. I feel like it's just a crowded fucking place, and you can't find a place to sit.
So I can enjoy the theater, but I also like the idea of being able to just sit at home and eat a fucking burrito or make a quesadilla or some fucking spaghetti and watch this goddamn movie.
Sure, but there are movies that you like go out and get dinner with your friends, grab a few drinks, walk over to the movie.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
That's almost better to me.
Only if it's with friends or family.
Yeah, like if I like the idea of like having you can release it in theaters and you can release it on the streaming platform, and you would just have to pay an extra fee, kind of like a movie ticket fee, to watch it on your streaming platform. And you can only watch it once. If you want to watch again, you pay the movie ticket fee, and at least until it's done in theaters, and then it becomes a full movie on the streaming platform.
Which, I mean, is what Disney did. You pay for Disney Plus, and then you pay like some $30 fucking premium to watch this stupid series. Or movie or whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know what it is. I don't even care to know what it is.
It's a movie. Me and Brian watched it. It was pretty good. I liked it. It's just $30 is a lot of money to fucking waste on watching a movie.
And I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, our theater, you can go on Tuesdays, spend half the price, watch a movie. Any movie. Literally any movie you want.
I miss the old Netflix.
There's so many.
I miss that's what I was gonna say. I miss when there wasn't so many fucking subscriptions. I lost
Like-
my shit with Disney and Adult Swim. That's when I was done. I was like, no, that's it. I'm done. I'm not putting another fucking dime. It should be back to the original of Netflix and Hulu. That is how it used to be. That's how it should have stayed.
I liked Netflix originally because Netflix was like, hey, we have the service of sending
We
you
own
movies through the mail, and you can watch them and then return them. That was cool. It was kind of like a Redbox, but you didn't have to drive to a Redbox to get them. But
Yeah.
then they were like, we're going to allow you to stream them over the internet, and that was awesome. And you had a huge selection of movies to watch. And then
TV series.
Yeah, and then the companies got involved. They're like, no, we don't want that. We want it off your platform immediately. So they took their movies off, and then everybody split off into their own corners and fought like children and made 15 fucking streaming platforms that you can watch these specific movies and then these specific movies. You can only watch this series on this one. And
the original advertisement was beat cable.
yes.
And if I own every fucking subscription to watch every mainstream show, I am paying way the fuck more than cable. So like you're not solving anything. The only thing you're increasing is piracy.
Destiny right now.
See, the thing is like it still is an advantage over cable because with the streaming services, you do get it. You can select which streaming service you want based on what they offer. Like if you only like specific shows and you know that they're only on that platform, just get that one.
But when I can bundle my internet with a TV package for the same price as just the internet, and it now includes 3 streaming services, what is the point?
Wait, are they offering streaming services with a internet package?
Yeah, that is part of the competition. They'll be like, oh, in your bill, here's included Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus.
I won't be surprised when there comes a day where cable and satellite TV are gone because streaming is like the best way to do it.
You would think, but that's not where it's headed because there's so many streaming platforms.
So what are they all heading to?
Piracy.
It's still going, piracy, and it's also going back to cable because cable providers are they make too much money. They do make a lot of money, therefore they can afford to offer streaming services for their clients.
Yeah, you'd be surprised like the amount of people who are still on just cable TV.
Yeah, Xfinity's top dog service gives you like every fucking subscription you can think of.
See, like, I don't like how, we're getting to a point, and we may not be there yet. It probably has happened, but it hasn't happened yet from what I can tell. We're going to get to a point where like you pay like $10 a month for a streaming service to be able to watch movies and TV shows and stuff on the fly whenever you want without advertisements. We're going to get to a point where they include advertisements and you, instead of having to pay $10, you have to pay $20 to remove advertisements. Which is basically like we've already hit a point where you buy a console and they're already advertising to you on the menu of the console.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you spent $600, let's just say, on this brand new console. Fresh, brand new, it is just released. You turn it on, you create your account, you log in, boom, Doritos logo.
What time are we at?
24 minutes. But it's fucking stupid.
Whoa. 24 minutes?
This is the second half.
You're like at 40 something.
Like, I'm not calling you a liar, but it's not true.
Yeah, we're like 40 or something. Fucking, it's my show. Fucking what?
I say we're at 16 minutes now.
Oh, we're not? Okay, 2 minutes.
Well, okay. Welcome to the GTM podcast.
We're doing it. But I don't like how you can spend so much money on this device that's just gonna sell you shit with advertisements.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is the point anymore? Like,
that's my coworker's.
You can't escape ads anymore.
No, you can't. My coworker's gripe. He bought his phone unlocked from Samsung. newest whatever the fuck Ultra. S21 Ultra, I think, I don't know. And he is so triggered at the fact that you open up an app like Samsung Pay, and there's just a huge fucking banner ad in Samsung Pay, which is taking up real estate for you to check your memberships, to add your cards, to scroll through your cards. It's just taking up a giant chunk at the top of your screen. Or you go to, you go to the Galaxy store. What do you see immediately? Just like full
Ads for
frame
fucking
ads.
Nike and shit.
Yeah. Or Skechers. I roll super cheap and old school.
I don't wear clothes.
I think
potato sacks.
I buy a
Yeah.
pair. I get a pair of Vans every Christmas, so that is the only time I ever get shoes is at Christmas, and they last me. I still have shoes from like 3 years ago. I just get a
Pretty
new
much
pair of
how I
shoes
roll.
every fucking Christmas, so I don't
Yeah.
worry about them. And
Uh.
people can always say, "Well, yeah, but you're not gonna look cool." I'm like, I don't really fucking care about the shoes that I wear.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to waste money refreshing my shoes every 3 months.
Like, I give a shit about the way that I smell. I don't give a shit about the way that my feet look.
All right.
I wear my footwear until they fall off, and I think you guys have seen that before.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I've worn a pair of shoes, Gage. I think you've seen this in high school, where like the front of my shoe, like it came off of the rubber bottom.
You got duck
And
flaps.
Yeah, I could do that fucking thing from that meme where like the guy had his shoe and he was eating the chip with the front of his toe.
Yeah.
I could do that with my fucking Vans because they came off, but I already had like another pair at home that I wore the next day.
Maybe we're just looking too much into this. I feel like all the streaming, all the advertising, all it really makes me want to do is live in the woods, revert to caveman.
I think we're talking about living way back. I wish I
Like
was
in the 70s, like you said.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to be completely like uninvolved with it, but I would like to be in the early process of it to appreciate everything before it.
Yeah, because you could still totally work in a computer store or whatever the fuck
And
in the 70s.
Are you saying
and I
that
think
you
it
would
would
want
be-
to go back with the knowledge you have now, or go back without the knowledge of now?
Go back, remain ignorant.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want the knowledge you have
1990s.
now.
No, I'd want the slate wiped fucking clean.
Because I know yeah, exactly. Because I know that I'm mechanically inclined. I would be thrown in to a field I would still enjoy. Because back then it was a lot easier to get into a field that you enjoyed. Teachers actually cared. They came up with their own personal ways of teaching, not just copy and pasting from all the previous crap. Not just giving a book and saying kids need to learn exactly this and know exactly this by the end of the year. There's no trust in teachers. It's here's a book, this is what they need to know. Instead of, 30 years ago where it was like, I'm an elementary school teacher. I'm going to teach you elementary school math.
So
Because that's what they were raised around.
Yep, I wish
when would,
I wish we were all like born like in 1970, and we all just, we're all
You
like
would-
still same house, same everything,
dude, we'd be
same
50,
area. We still knew each other.
I would be 51 right now.
Yeah, and we would probably be
Yeah, we'd all be
close
around
to retirement.
Schools actually gave a shit.
Yeah, we'd all be talking about how shitty the state is now, and that we only got a few years left
We'd
to
still
go.
probably have a podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I look at, when we were in school, we looked at the school system as being like, this is fucking ridiculous, man. This shit's fucking hard or whatever. And then we got out of it. And, our parents would talk, well, at least my parents would talk about how the schooling now is fucking retarded. Like, they treat you guys like you're children. Like, seriously, you guys are in high school. You guys are about to be adults. And they treat you like you're toddlers.
they do.
Like
And
like in 1998 when my parents like were seniors. We were seniors the year I was born, 1998. They had me young, but like that doesn't seem that long ago. And back then it was like they were fully expected. Like everybody had a fucking job, everybody had a car. Like during school hours between classes, you could go outside and smoke a cigarette.
The thing that I look at is like, I went from, when I was in high school, my parents would tell me like school is so easy now. I'd look at it and be like, no, it's really not. Like school is still kind of hard. But then again, I was a teenager and I was looking at it from the perspective of a teenager who was pampered compared to my parents who grew up when, a fucking 80 was a C
Mm,
and a fucking 88 was a B and a 90 was a B and a 95 was an A. But,
yeah, people don't really remember that now. They don't know what's going on.
yeah,
I think
Yeah, we're dumb.
when we went into sixth grade, I think they had made that change. I mean, I kind of agree, but it's like at the time I was like, oh, this is bogus, man.
yeah.
But
I
like
just want to ride some waves, brah.
even though like at the time I really didn't have a hard time in school or anything like that, and I passed totally fine. But at the time I was just like, God, this is so fucking lame. I want to go out and drive my car and fuck bitches.
I can say for certain that I did have a hard time in school, and I honest to God believe I had some sort of learning disability because I could not remember anything.
That's just lack of interest.
I couldn't. You're right. Most of it probably was there was nothing interesting, and no teacher tried to make an effort to make it interesting.
That's
And
okay. That's not
honestly,
true.
They
it is
try.
it really is up to the teachers too, because
Yeah.
there are some teachers that are just fucking horrible. I lost all of my interest. I was like primo max, like 99% A student for math until I hit algebra 2 in high school.
Right.
That teacher was horrible.
It's I've never been good at math, and I think Gage can attest to that.
Yeah, I was
And
in stupid people math with Nick all through high school. The only
that
time
is
I ever
always up to the
took,
teachers.
yeah, the only time I think I ever took like in like a smart person math was when I got to 12th grade. They were like, all right, here's the deal. You can either be in stupid kid pre-calc one thing, or you can do AP statistics. I was like, what the fuck is AP statistics? And they basically told me about it, and I was like, that sounds easy. And I got it. It was fucking AP coloring. It was so easy.
Yeah, stats is great.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, Nick, you could have done it. It was like totally fun. It was not hard at all. And I'm a
See, the
retard.
thing is, like, when you're teaching a class, algebra, for example, and like you said, it's really kind of up to the way that the teacher teaches the class. I couldn't follow it because it takes me a little bit longer to understand the concept of what she was teaching, and then when I start to get it, they're already on the unit ahead of the next unit. So
Yeah.
by that time, I'm fucked.
Yeah, that's all what the teachers, it's how they teach it.
Just
Our
buy
math,
a brain.
we are so fucking far behind on math because we keep changing it to be this really stupid, complex, whatever bullshit they try to plaster. It's like, we teach it this way so our kids think differently, so that way they're encouraged to find different ways to getting to the solution. And it's like, no, you're literally just making kids want to literally kill themselves.
I don't believe that for a second.
Like, why is it that
Game.
every other country,
It's not. Stop
Fine.
saying endgame.
literally, but every other country, by the time they hit beginning of secondary school, which is the middle of our middle school, why are they all already at our high school math?
Right.
They're doing like calc in middle school.
Right. I mean, I feel like, the people who keep changing math are just like, well, if we don't come up with something new, we're not going to have jobs anymore. So let's just find the most dumb fucking way to redo math.
Yeah, but the other thing too was they actually like discriminated to like other kids. to where like if you weren't picking up on it, they're like, all right, we're gonna stick you in stupid people math.
Which is what they
And-
did to me, and I was like, you want to take me away from the class with all of my friends and throw me into this class with kids who look like they want to stab me.
Yeah, and it was like, and it was at the time I was like, I really wanted to like go to college and do all these things, and I really wanted to be put in a higher level math, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't think you can do it, so you're gonna go in the stupid people math. And I was like, fuck, I really don't want to. And like, okay, so you took geometry in 10th grade, right?
Yes.
There were people in our same school system who took geometry in 8th grade. Like while we were in middle school in 8th grade, they were taking geometry.
We had pre-calc too in middle school. That was an option.
I never met anybody. The aforementioned middle school from earlier that I said, they did it there.
I'm trying to remember. No, what was No, I think they had the beginning of pre-calc and algebra at our middle school.
Yeah, because there were people who were taking algebra in 6th grade, algebra 2 in 7th grade, and they were taking fucking geometry in like 8th grade. And then there were people my senior year who like literally didn't even have to take a math class.
I was just happy that like I didn't have to take a science class my senior year. Or no, I did have to take a science class, but they were like, you can either A, take chemistry, or you can take environmental science. So I was like, you bet your sweet ass I'm taking environmental science.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
We should call this episode like a Boomer Club.
The Boomer it's
Boomer
Yanni, write that down.
I
Boomer Club.
I got you.
The FUD Federation.
I loved taking environmental science because it was me and a bunch of these other senior chicks in like this group of complete fucking anime nerds that I grouped with. And we were sitting there and like the teacher was like, all right, so today for environmental science we're gonna watch a movie. And I was like, fuck yeah, movie day, sweet. And we watched The Cove. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've never watched a movie and not given a shit what happened. But I watched this whole movie, I was just like, I really don't fucking care.
Literally do not care about any of these characters. Do not care about anything going on.
The writing is so off. Even though it's like a documentary about how these people in Japan are just totally fucking killing dolphins.
You didn't care that Asian people kill sea life all the time?
The fucking whole movie was just like these like people had to sneak into this secret cove that is hidden by these like fishermen in Japan that they use it to trap and kill dolphins. And I was like, oh. So
Well, that's it for the video, guys.
fucking did you ever watch The Cove, Gage?
No, I don't want to watch dolphins get killed. That's
Dude,
sad.
I'm telling you, like it's like watching Zero Dark 30, but the target is fucking Japanese dolphin killers.
The thing that's crazy is that that's actual a problem too.
Yeah, it really is. Like I feel bad for dolphins being just absolutely murdered because they want to sell it in local fish markets, but this whole movie made it out to be like this. There's no bigger problem in the world than these dolphins. And I'm like, I can think of a few bigger problems.
I gotta think. That's how it feels to the people that have got to sit there and do this all day. You gotta find those people and like track them down and put them into traps.
I'm not shitting you. There's a scene in the movie where they go like night vision mode and they camp up on top of the cliffs as they watch these fishermen in the nighttime just trapping dolphins.
Yes.
I mean, have you seen what other countries have started to do? Like the Chinese fishing vessels that illegally go into other countries' waters, and as soon as they get chased, they go back out into international waters.
Yeah, they're
like
fucking other countries' naval forces and shit go out there
and blow them up. Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. That's the kind of environmentalism I can get behind. Like that
See, like,
episode of South Park when they did well rowers. They just, they just blew up these fucking fishing vessels.
But that was funny as shit, though.
You should have watched that episode in class.
That's what dude, I would have fucking loved that. Like, the whole movie, really, I after the whole video, they were like, alright, so we're gonna do this questionnaire thing, and I want you to write down what you thought, what you felt, what do you think they could do to fix this, and I save the dolphins. Really, that's all I could think of was, I guess, save them.
Yeah, like go out there and pick them up at Free Willy style and bring them here. They'll live in my pool. It'll be a beautiful fucking ABC Family movie night.
Jump over the fucking fishing net like, yeah! I mean, it wasn't really like, if you want to watch The Cove and you want to feel bad for dolphins, go ahead and watch it. I mean, it is a sad movie, but I mean, at the time I was in high school and I just wanted to go home. I did not really care.
Yeah, you wanted to go home and play GTA 5.
Yeah, I wanted to go home and play GTA 5 where I kill people.
And dolphins for once.
Dolphins, because fuck dolphins. Oh my god.
Your anti-drug lingo is actually making me want to try drugs.
Whoa, in-game.
I actually showed Yanni a clip from Red vs. Blue yesterday. It was the episode where Tucker was trapped in the cave, and he's like, I don't know what they want. They're like trying to get like some sort of like old ancient weapon, and Kabu's like, old ancient weapon? Like a spear? And he goes, no, not a spear. It's like some sort of like energy electric thing. And he goes, an electric spear. He goes, it's not a spear, dumbass.
I think I just turned off my memory.
I'm right, you did, because I'm drunk.
What's
Alright.
our time, man?
I think it's, yeah, we're at the, this is gonna be like an hour and 10-minute episode. So
Yeah, you probably end it.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. Thanks for watching.
No, you aren't.
I have to.
No, because
This is
I
good.
just joined.
This is gonna take 15 hours to render if I go even further.
Alright, fine. Bonus clips.
I can record bonus clips. Let me end the episode and then I'll do bonus clips.
Nerd.
Thank you for watching the GTM podcast. If you want to go to our website at gtmpodcast.squarespace.com, where you can see all the different tabs filled with information. You can go to the GTM episodes tab, where you can see every episode in chronological order. You can go to the GTM guest page, where you can see every guest that's been on the podcast and the episode that they were in. You can head over to soundcloud.com/the GTM podcast, where you can see every episode uploaded there, just the audio version. You go to youtube.com/the GTM podcast, where you can watch the video.
I have a great idea.
In-game.
What?